All right, so I am coming back after having just completed my informational interview regarding a role as an epic trainer. Um, and I thought I would have time to talk about that, but again, this is going to be another short video, which is an amazing miracle for me. Um, there's only 10 minutes before my next piano lesson, and I can't be late for that. But I did want to jump on and talk about what an informational interview is and what it was like completing my first one. So, as I mentioned before, it's the opportunity basically for you to talk to someone who's already doing the job that you're interested in finding more about. Excuse me. So, in my case, an epic trainer is someone who trains nurses and providers, doctors in hospital systems to use software that the hospital uses every day in so many different ways. It's kind of a complicated software, so they need specific trainers to go in and provide this training. As an educator, one idea I'm having is to use my skills as a teacher, excuse me, to be able to go into the tech world as a trainer. And Epic is one avenue that I've been curious to find out more about. So I realized that in my network, I knew someone who worked at a hospital. Their role is not as an Epic trainer, but they do work in tech, which was probably helpful. So I reached out to them and I asked them if they knew about that job and could they tell me anything about it. And that's when that person actually shared with me that I could do something called an informational interview. And they told me that they didn't know anyone in the Epic training department, but they knew that there was an Epic training department at their hospital. And so they would get back to me. So this contact of mine very generously took the time to find out that there was someone not only who was an Epic trainer at the company that they work at, but that was willing to talk to me and do an informational interview with me. So, and this person has the role, they're kind of like above, they would be sort of in the hiring position for the role that I would be curious to be getting. So it actually worked out great because I was kind of talking with a person that if I do end up going down this path, it probably will be the type of role, type of person who would be interviewing me for the job. So over the course of the conversation, not only did he give me so much information and was able to answer a lot of questions that I had about the job, but he even gave me really specific strategies for things that I should look out for in the interview and even like certain terminology to use, which is like invaluable. This is kind of a little sidebar, but I try to pick interesting thumbnails for these videos when I do them because, yeah, I want to kind of convey in like graphic and catchy way the main idea of what I'm trying to share. And I realized today, because I'm also trying to make sure I don't step on anyone's toes in terms of using an image that I'm not supposed to. So I realized today I can use like art that's from a while ago because that goes with like who I am, and also hopefully I'll step on less toes for creative licensing issues. So today I picked up an image which may not immediately leap out to you as being representational of an informational interview, but it's by one of my favorite artists, Keith Haring, and I loved what it conveyed, which was this giant machine, and someone is like pulling someone out of that machine, and that looks a little more aggressive than what I just experienced, but to me, it is a great symbol for what just happened, which is I was like, it felt like I was deep inside of this company and I was finding out so much more information than I ever could just looking at, job listings on LinkedIn and Google and even YouTube videos that I've spent some time researching what trainers do and watching, at least a good hour or two of Epic videos over the past Epic trainer YouTube videos. And, even there, that information was not as detailed as what I was able to get today. So I really appreciate the opportunity. I mean, we spent 40 minutes talking on the phone. The guy was super nice, patient. He enjoyed kind of like, thinking back to how he first entered the career. And he was sharing with me in a real way, like what he loves about it and, the things that are not his favorite parts of the job. It's nice because there's no, um, there's no pressure on the conversation. It's really kind of informational, and I know explorational is not a word, but it just seems to be fitting, right? So it's great. And now I have his contact. We're connected on LinkedIn, and I have his email address. And he told me if I, want to reach out with other questions, I can anytime. It just kind of got me from this giant zoomed out concept of what this role was to a lot closer. And of course, his experience is not going to be the same as everyone's experience as an Epic trainer, but it just gave me like a very, very detailed window into what this experience could be like if I decide to pursue it. So yeah, I'm super excited, very grateful to, oh, that's the person who hooked me up with the contact. I don't know why I keep getting calls during these lives. This is the second time this is happening. The person that I'm talking about calls during the video. Yeah, just wanted to say I just found out about informational interviews and highly recommend them. The way that I got one was through a contact. So I would recommend, if you are curious about a certain type of job, see if there's someone, maybe they don't have that same role, but maybe they're at a company where that role exists, and they might be able to introduce you to a person in that role, and they might be willing to do an informational interview with you. The contact that I had did not know this person at all, but because, they work in the same company, he was easily able to reach out and make a connection between them and then introduce me as the third party. So it just went really well. One thing I would recommend is doing your research. I think part of the reason that it went well is I've been researching this role for about a month or so. And like I said, I've read things online about it. I've been actually, I have a Google search set up where the job listings go to my phone. So I can kind of see like what, where those jobs are and kind of how they're described. I also talked to a person who kind of a friend who introduced me to this idea as a possibility anyway. And that was kind of helpful. What else have I done? So I watched videos. Yeah, just kind of read about opportunities online. And I also went to the website where this company that produces the software, and I kind of learned about the company that makes the software. So I would say like 2.5 to 3 hours worth of research over a month period. And that way, when this opportunity came forward, the next thing I did that I think was helpful is I sat down and I wrote a list of like 12 questions, whatever popped up in my head in terms of what I might want to ask this person, because I just didn't want it to like feel awkward, and I didn't want them to feel like I was wasting their time. So I kind of showed up prepared. I didn't dress, this is what I wore. I didn't dress, this is not like as dressed up as I might be in an actual interview, but I did take the time to look pulled together and treated it as if it was an interview. So yeah, I just want to share. It went well. I'm someone who likes to talk, and I'm a very curious person, so I tend to enjoy the interview process. I know not everyone does, but I would highly recommend trying these. Now I want to pick another position and see if I can have another informational interview somewhere. All right, just wanted to share something that I discovered. And where will I be in a year from now? Will I be an Epic trainer? I don't know. I do not know. I don't know if I want to do a video on that. If someone wants me to, let me know. But I definitely don't feel like an expert on the epic training role, but I understand a lot better now, like what my next step would be in order to apply for that kind of a job. So yeah, all right. It's time for my piano lesson. Let's see if I get to touch the keys today. Last time she was just having me draw a staff and put notes on the staff, which is great because I took piano as a kid and I could never learn how to read notes very well. So I'm looking forward to doing a better job of that this time. Have a great rest of your day and thanks for checking in.